Versatile Mage. Chapter 364. Plague. The White Town was once a relay station, but as it slowly became a transportation hub for several safe zones, it had gradually developed from a relay station into a town. Towns like this, located close to the boundaries of safe zones and the fortresses of the military, were mixed with good and bad people, businessmen, hunters, battle mages, members of magic associations, students in training, people from renowned families, and also some wanted criminals or people of the enforcement union. Normally, the White Town would not be on high alert. In fact, it could be considered a black market, not under the control of any faction. Either the hunters or the military would be trading their loot here. "What's going on? They're checking everyone," Mo Fan blurted out when he saw the people lining up at the entrance of the town. "Young man, you might be unaware. There has been a deadly plague recently. Many people in the town are quarantined. They now have to check everyone who's planning to enter the town, to see if anyone is bringing the disease in," said a man with a dark skin tone, who seemed to be a hunter. Oh, I thought something more serious was happening." Mo Fan let out a relieved sigh. They were opposing Councilman Zhu Meng since they were trying to escape with the black totem snake, but that alone was not serious enough to be considered a major offense. Therefore, it would be quite crazy if the inspection was set up specifically for them. Besides, the White Town was free from any governing body. The enforcement union would have to send their own people to guard the entrances. They had no reason to ask the townspeople to help with their threat eliminating strategy. Both Mo Fan and Tang Yu were permitted to pass after a brief checkup. They did not even bother verifying their identities. Upon arriving at White Town, Mo Fan and Tang Yu immediately noticed something strange. Usually, the streets would be filled with vendors, stalls, shops, and a fairly massive crowd. After all, the place was suitable for resting and trading with the majority of the magicians who regularly contacted the demon beasts. Today, the streets were completely empty. Not a single stall could be seen. Shops were still open, but few people were seen coming in or out. The venues for auctions were slightly better, but it was still a huge difference from the usual numbers. Mo Fan and Tang Yu were worn out from the journey. They quickly found a place to rest, one that did not require any form of identification. The place seemed rather normal. As Mo Fan was waiting for the key at the reception desk, he blurted out when he saw the girl in duty wearing a white mask, "The plague seems very serious." The girl glanced at Mo Fan with an alert look, as if she were shy with strangers. It took her quite some time to find the key. She did not speak a single word throughout the process. The woman who seemed to be the owner of the place said with a smile, "Isn't that right? The plague has been everywhere since that giant snake appeared. I'm sure that the snake was real instead of a mere illusion. As always, the government is reluctant to tell us the truth." "How can you tell the snake is responsible for the plague?" asked Mo Fan in a confused tone. "The plague only happened around a week ago. I'm not a magician, but I'm still aware that most snakes are poisonous. Think about it. Such a giant snake, and when its poison spreads out, doesn't that turn into a plague? I think we should find the snake as soon as possible to stop the plague from spreading any further. Otherwise, there will be casualties soon enough," said the owner. "Mum, didn't you hear it from someone else too?" The girl with the mask finally spoke. "It's most likely the truth. There's nothing so coincidental," answered the owner. Mo Fan chatted with them for a while before going upstairs with the key. Tang Yu's identity was quite sensitive for the time being, thus she did not show herself at the lobby. She quickly went upstairs, saying that she needed to use the toilet as an excuse. Mo Fan went upstairs to Tang Yu and said, "Did you hear what they were saying?" Tang Yu nodded silently while biting her lips. "Is there something you're not telling me?" Mo Fan subconsciously asked when he saw Tang Yu's reaction. Tang Yu did not respond. Mo Fan could tell that she was feeling uneasy from her eyes. "Forget it, let's go inside. You must be tired too," said Mo Fan. Mo Fan used the key to open the door. Tang Yu entered the room with a load on her mind. She turned and said to Mo Fan, "You should go back to your room. I'll need some time alone." "Well, the owner has mentioned that this is the only room left," Mo Fan said with an awkward expression and scratched his head. Tang Yu raised her head and glanced at the shameless Mo Fan before saying in an amused yet annoyed tone, "Do you think I would believe it when the town is so deserted? It's easier for us to look after one another when we stay together," said Mo Fan. "Off you go, get yourself another room. Do you think I have no idea what you're thinking? Miss Tang Yu." The door slammed closed with a loud bang. Mo Fan could even hear a click from the lock. It seemed like his attempt at following the scene in ancient television dramas was not working. Mo Fan helplessly went to get himself another room. He dropped heavily onto the bed and fell asleep without being concerned about his hygiene. In the room next door, Tang Yu moved the chair to the balcony. The place was renovated into an inn from an apartment, thus every room had its own balcony. The day was getting brighter. The usually prosperous town was now riven with fear. Several figures could be seen moving on the streets, but they were all wearing masks and seemed to be in a rush. There were sanitary stations, Red Cross workers, medical personnel wrapped in tightly sealed suits, and ambulances whistling past. Tang Yu had been occupied with the incident regarding the skyscraping snake lately, thus she was unaware of the plague around Hangzhou. "Mo Fan, are you asleep?" Tang Yu called out at the room beside the balcony after a prolonged hesitation. "No, not at all." Mo Fan quickly sprang up from the bed. "What are you trying to do, jumping over here?" Tang Yu glared at Mo Fan, who had jumped over from his balcony to hers. "Aren't you worried that someone would eavesdrop on our conversation?" Mo Fan replied. "I don't want to lie to you. So the plague has something to do with your god?" asked Mo Fan. I don't know," answered Tang Yu. "But you told me that he's not poisonous during the ecdysis." "That is the truth. He is indeed not poisonous during this time. He's not poisonous, but he could be spreading a plague. Your chief has asked you to bring him away not only to run away from Zhu Meng, but to prevent the plague from spreading to the people in the city." Mo Fan made his inference with a wry smile. Tang Yu bit her lips even more. After a few moments, she finally raised her head and said firmly, "I believe he has nothing to do with the plague." "But that's from you, Miss Tang Yu." Mo Fan uttered a sigh, not knowing what to say. Mo Fan, I don't know what I shall do." Tang Yu totally lost her mind. "Be rational. Maybe it's better to hand him over to the councilman. Just as the owner had mentioned, people might start dying in the next few days. You've seen the situation of the town, too. If the plague were actually deadly, hundreds or even thousands of people would die. Miss Tang Yu, I don't think you could bear the consequences." Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.